Give me a run for my money. There is nobody, no one that run me. So give me a run for my money. Sipping bubbly, feeling lovely.
We compare ourselves amongst ourselves, you know. That's not the standard. You already are the standard. What are you trying to fit into a standard for? We were each created to be individual standards, you know. And we're trying to fit into a standard. It doesn't make any sense, you know. So now I'm just, you know, after all of that, I'm just ready to be me. And it's a lot to work through, you know, because all of us have hidden in these little boxes purposely because of parts of ourselves that we were unhappy about and we didn't love, just because we didn't understand, you know, because there's all this social doctrine that says, you know, that the infinite God with all his expression who created every single one of us absolutely different on purpose wants everybody to fit into the same suit. I'm like, you know, that's deception.
I wanna be with you. If I didn't ride blade on curve, would you still? If I'm in my mind at work, would you still? Keep it 100, I'd rather you trust me.
Cause I'm living my life like it's golden, golden, golden. Yeah, living my life like it's golden, cause I'm living my life.
Hey girls, y'all are seeming to really enjoy this last vlog, the part of the vlog where I talked about getting you a Uncle Larry so you won't be down to the job telling all of your business. You guys already know I'm in my favorite place in the building. Girl, it is so hot in the building today. I don't know what's going on. It sounds like, or it feels like they may be getting ready to prepare for the 4th of July, which by the way is tomorrow, guys. I don't really get off into the 4th of July celebrations and stuff or whatever. It's just gonna be a chill day. I've been having a lot of chill days lately. Y'all, I'm gonna be very, very honest. Y'all know I love being honest and I love being transparent. One of the things that I've been kind of seeing a lot of discourse about is like people talking about jealousy. And I have a very, very, very different take on jealousy. I think for me personally, jealousy is a waste of time. That's number one. Number two, I don't think that people can be jealous of me. And the reason why I don't think that people can be jealous of me is because I'm giving you the formula. I'm giving you the recipe. There is really no stone left unturned. You know, I'm telling you everything that I do. As far as weight loss, what I eat, where I shop, anything you pretty much want to know as far as, you know, just how I like to pull myself together. I'm giving the recipe on that. So I just be feeling like when you get into this whole conversation about jealousy, and I just think it's a waste of time. And let me add this. One of the things that I've been thinking about the most when we talk about this conversation of jealousy, like it is such a waste of time because you don't know what people have had to endure to become what they have become. You don't know the sacrifices that they've made. You don't know the trauma that they've had to go through, all of the healing they've had to do, what they've had to do to gain a level of success. I'll just use this as an example. You know, with me, I speak very, very well. I have a large vocabulary and I'm also known as a wordsmith. Well, guys, the story behind that is when I was a little kid, girl, I used to get in trouble a lot, y'all. I used to get in trouble a lot, and you know, I wouldn't be able to go outside, and my mom would take the television away. She would take the radio away. She would take away, you know, life's luxuries as a little kid. And guess what? I had to be locked up in my room with a dictionary. And so I would literally just go through the dictionary and I would read words. I wouldn't read definitions, but I would absolutely read words. And then when I would go downstairs and I would be talking at the dinner table, girl, I would be trying to use all of those big words, but I would be using I would be using the words out of context, y'all. I used to literally be sitting downstairs talking like, remember on Saturday Night Live when one of the Wayans brothers, he used to do like a little skit, and he would be using all those words because he was in prison, and he would be using the words wrong.
We must internalize the flatulation of the matter.
I used to sound like that at the dinner table, and I wasn't, I was still like in the second grade or whatever. Sometimes trouble begets trouble. So what would happen to me is I would get in trouble for using words that I did not know how to use in the proper context. So I would get locked up in my room again with a thesaurus. And so just imagine like you're spending a lot of time by yourself, and you're spending a lot of time having to read and having to learn. That was punishment for me. Of course, I really started to enjoy it or whatever. It was something I really started to enjoy after a while, but that's how I learned how to speak well and how to have a large vocabulary. That's not anything to be envious of nor jealous of at all. And because as a kid, would you want to sacrifice your childhood to having to be in a room, looking out the window, staring out the window, looking at other little kids running around, playing, enjoying their childhood, and you are literally in a room, locked up with a dictionary and a thesaurus? And so I say all of that to say, you don't know where people have been to get to where they are. You don't know the trauma that they faced. So why even waste time being jealous? Just like some people, they decided, okay, well, I'm going to be an attorney, a criminal attorney. Well, maybe they chose to be a criminal attorney because of something that happened in their childhood. They felt defenseless. So when they were able to pursue a goal or a dream to help people who were unable to help themselves. And so you just don't know what people have had to endure to get to the level that they are at and to accomplish the things that they've accomplished. A lot of times success comes out of lack. Success comes out of not having anything, or success comes from being in a household where you grew up and someone told you you were never going to be anything. And so with all of that being said, I just think that when you, and I'm not saying you guys specifically, I'm just using it in a general term, when there are people that are jealous hearted or have a lot of jealousy or envy, I will never, ever, ever understand that, because really, if you knew the person's story, 9 times out of 10, you would not be willing to trade places with that person. You wouldn't be willing to put in the work, endure the pain and the trauma that they had to endure to become who they are and to have the level of success that they have. So I just think it's just a waste of time.
One of the things that we never really want to admit or even want to talk about is how comparison is absolutely the thief of joy. Anyone who has spent any amount of time in this content creating space has at some point or the other experienced comparing yourself. And it is one of the most dangerous things that we can do. It's something that absolutely hinders us. When I think about Lauryn Hill speaking at the very beginning of the vlog and just talking about, we are all created different, and it is intentional that we're created different. So why would you want to compare yourself to the standard when you are indeed not the standard? For me personally, comparing myself has absolutely hindered me in so many ways. And I am uniquely qualified to be on this journey and to be on this platform. And that's why I wanted to name this vlog The Thief of Joy. We consume so much content, and it's just like, should I try to be more aesthetically pleasing? Maybe I shouldn't be as jovial. Maybe I shouldn't joke as much. Maybe I should just go in the direction of just straight corporate and focus completely on the Shop My Closet series. But I can't do that. I wouldn't be true to myself if I were to do that. And I just wanted to have this conversation because I know there are so many other people out there that compare themselves. And I just think it's important that we all know that our time is coming. If you don't embrace 100% of who you are and you're looking out at everybody else, when your time does come, you're not going to fully enjoy it. I truly believe that. I've definitely struggled with wanting to show up. And you guys know that I've talked about that in a couple of my blogs. Just questioning myself. Am I good enough? What if I don't have anything to show? I don't have anything to bring to the show and tell. And it's just like, I have myself to bring. I have hindered myself for so long simply because I've watched other people and I've compared myself to them. And it just makes the journey so much tougher. It is just such an unnecessary use of time. This blog is the first blog that I decided that I am just going to show my everyday life. Despite how exciting it might be, mundane it might be, interesting or lack thereof, it doesn't matter. But I can't not keep showing up because I'm comparing myself or I just feel like I don't have enough. I would just say, as a takeaway, girls, just know that you are enough. You are seen. We want to see you, and your voice does matter. Try to get away from comparing yourself as soon as you can, because the moment you fully embrace who you are is the moment that you'll truly enjoy the journey and you will completely appreciate the destination.
What am I supposed to do? Want to cook you a soup that warms your soul, but nothing will change at all. It's just a day that brings it all about. Just another day, nothing's any good. DJ's playing the same song. I have so much to do. I know. Wonder if this grief will ever let me go. I feel like I am the king. Sorrow, king of sorrow. I suppose I could just walk away. But I disappoint my future if I stay. It's just a day.
All right, I'm almost done with the closet. But listen, PSA, I don't know who needs to hear this, but you do know it's okay for you not to be the village comedian at work. You do know that it's okay not to be the tap and fetch it at work. And what made me think about that was this guy that I dated. This was a long time ago, and he used to come home and he used to tell me like, oh, today at work my manager asked me to reenact a scene from Good Times.
Love has trucked into my life and we are doing a lot of double clutching.
And I wouldn't say anything, but I just was I would just probe a little bit. Y'all know how I do. So after I probed a little bit, girl, he was literally the only black guy who worked at this company. So I'm just like, so basically they using you as the goddamn buffoon and the coon of the company. And so, and so he was telling me that they played like a trivia game, but it was more like hood trivia. And I'm like, how is it that your manager or your leadership, they're asking you to reenact the scenes from Good Times and the Jeffersons and Roots?
Don't send Toby away. Toby be good for your hand, boss. Good for your hand, master.
And so not only that, it's the fact that your ass is comfortable with getting up and doing it. looking like a whole fucking coon out here. And so I just sat back and I just soaked it in. And it was at that moment I knew that I would not ever be the company clown. And I would tell jokes and stuff at work, but I would only show my fun, funny personality to people that was like, I was cool with at work. And a lot of people just didn't know my personality. Also, I'm no different than I am now in terms of just isolating myself or, being by myself at work. A lot of times I would be in my own office or in my own space, and I did not do a lot of fraternizing and socializing down to the job. And so I have always observed people, especially after he told me he used to be down to the job girl in blackface. But anyway, I just really thought about the fact that they will make a coon out of you. They will make a clown out of you at work, and you want to be taken seriously, but you don't want to be so stuffy where people don't want to deal with you, because the bottom line is people buy from people that they like, and people want to work with people that they like. So I'm not saying be stuffy, but also you don't want to be the class clown. Y'all remember there was an episode of Insecure where they had hired this girl at Molly's job.
Was shadowing Merrill and Johnson on the Chin case, and I had to send myself to HR because Johnson is on.
Hey, Rashida, hi. Hey. Can you come here for a second?
And the girl came in and she was all loud and stuff, and Molly tried to pull her to the side and tell her, like, sis, like, you might want to chill or whatever. Then the others ended up pulling her to the side and talking to her about her behavior at work. Those are the things that I want you younger bombshells to avoid. Also, one thing that I never understood is how do people get to the point where they get so comfortable with you that they want to tell you inappropriate jokes. Another thing that I would advise, like, it's going to be some times when you get your own office, you're going to have people that come in your office, men that come in your office, and for whatever reason, I don't know why they think it's okay to take those opportunities to want to get a little bit, kind of test you a little bit. So to be very, very honest with you, when I would have men that would come in my office and they would try to test me, that's when I would bring out, I would put the shamalama ding dong on their ass. Like, I didn't mind talking crazy to them privately. Like, I would just kind of go off on them, or either I would get a little bit more spicy with them when we were in just a one-on-one setting. And the reason why I would get spicy is because they would say something or do something. Like, one guy, I was sitting in my desk basically like I am now. He kind of got this close to me. He was about right here, but he was standing up, and I told him to back his ass up. I said, look, it's only one ass that can fit in this seat. Back up, go over there. And I didn't mind getting spicy with him, because number one, what he gonna tell HR? Is he gonna go to HR and be like, yeah, I was standing about 6 inches away from her face? He's not gonna go and tell them that. You know what I'm saying? And then that's why I didn't mind getting a little bit spicy, extra crispy with their ass at work, because you're not gonna be able to go to HR and tell them that you said an inappropriate joke to me. They're gonna want to know what provoked me to say the things that I said, and you're gonna then have to say what you said, and you're probably not gonna want to say what you said. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm just really big on people taking me seriously. And I got like that when I first started working in male-dominated environments. Another thing that I would say to the younger bombshells is, if you're entering your first, corporate job, or if you work with a lot of guys, another thing I always made, another piece of advice I'll give, I'm trying to work on finishing my thoughts, girl, but another piece of advice that I'll give is, when those guys, they come to you and they want to confide in you about certain things, I would allow them to confide in me about certain things. A lot of times, girls, y'all, some of the things that these guys be saying about their wives, you know what I'm saying? You will be like, One guy, girl, he was like, he just wants to know. He was saying, I just want to know that if something were to ever happen to me, that I could depend on my wife to take care of everything. And then he was just like, you know, she doesn't do anything for herself. He was like, I can't even fucking die if I wanted to, because he didn't trust that his wife would be able to pick up the pieces and handle things. It was, you know, one guy, he would talk about how ungrateful his wife and his kids were. And basically one day the wife and the kids, when he got home from work, girl, y'all, they asked him for an emu, a fucking emu, girl. So I was dying laughing, but they tend to open up to you a lot. Guys, men open up to you a lot, especially when you're in a male dominated environment. And so a lot of times you are just a listening ear. I never tried to offer any feedback. I would just listen. And so I learned from just being an open ear, they would trust you with a lot of things. I had one guy, y'all, one of my favorite engineers, I called him Button, y'all. Button was so cute. Girl, Button reminded me of my little nephew. But Button came in my office one day and he was showing me his, he was like, hey, I want to get your opinion on something. And so he, showed me the engagement ring. You know, he wanted to get my opinion on the engagement ring he was getting for his girlfriend he was going to propose. And so he was like, you're the only person I showed this to. And so it just felt really, really good to know, like, those guys trusted me, they respected me, but they never really got out of line, you know what I'm saying? And in the event that somebody did, they didn't do it again. It was a one time, one take, period. And so I think it's really, really important, you know, like that goes back into like the way that you carry yourself. And so I dress really well. Like, we talked about that already, but I carried myself in a way that you just knew not to cross the line with me. You know what I'm saying? You knew not to come in my office, girl, because one thing they be doing, girl, they be trying to come in your office and sitting on your desk. Baby, don't sit on my desk. You sit your ass in the seat. Do not sit on my desk. And so I was able to get a lot of respect or whatever. And so I think it is important that I don't care, by the way, girls, I don't care what your position is. I don't care if you're a receptionist. I don't care if you are in leadership. It does not matter. You still need to, you know, walk a certain walk, talk a certain talk, especially being a woman of color in the corporate workplace or whatever. So yeah, but you know, like I said, I had to check a couple of people, but despite the fact that I did, it was still some of the best years of my life working in male dominated environments or whatever. Oh, and one last thing, girl. Y'all know most of my professional experience is working with engineers. But the bottom line in working with them engineers, number one, they drink like fish. Engineers drink so much, and it doesn't matter what the age is. All the way from the older guys down to the younger guys, they drink a lot. So one of the things that I used to do when we would have to go out and do socials, and by the way, girls, sometimes I know you be wanting to go home after work and take your bra and your shoes off, but unfortunately, sometimes you're gonna have to play the game. You're gonna have to show up at a couple of the after hour events occasionally, or after work events, I should say. Especially if you are well liked by your team and by your management and leadership. You definitely want to show up. I was like very well liked, and so of course I had to show up. But anyway, I'm getting off track. Listen, when you go out to the events, a lot of times you'll be able to go to the bar to get your own drink. Go to the bar and get you a Sprite with extra ice, and that way it's gonna look like a vodka, okay? You want to nurse that the entire night, because a lot of times in corporate America, especially working with men, and I don't know why this is, but they tend to feel like they can trust you if they can drink with you. And so you want to keep that trust going. And so you're going to get a Sprite, you're going to get a lot of ice, and it's going to look like you're drinking a Sprite with vodka. And then you want to nurse that thing all night. You know what I'm saying? And so you just want to sip on it or whatever. People tend to trust you more when they think that you are a little bit of a drinker, okay? Not a smoker, but a drinker. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I think I just wanted to come in and talk to you girls about that. And yeah, just give you guys some of the tips and tricks that worked for me when I was down to the corporate plantation, girl. I just wanted to give y'all some tips. So yeah, but I think we need to get ready to curl this hair. Or you know what? I probably need to get ready to steam these clothes out for the next vlog. It's not going to be in this vlog, but on the next vlog, I think we're going to do a shop my closet. So let me steam some of these pieces out, and then I'll give you girls a call back.
37 and styrofoam. Spend a day to get my mind blown. Dress it up and go to Nassau. 200 miles on the dash. Got a roll a pound up a gas. Put your names in the Grand Rapids. We the one that kept it cool without a nigga till these niggas start acting. Shoot a nigga like a film in a movie, nigga gon' let him have it. We ballin' like the March Madness. All this cops shoot a nigga tragic. I don't wanna live in lavish, like I'm playing for the Mavericks. I don't want it for the bitch that might have made me fuck her even though she average. Dirty money in the cook, 45 by my good. I'm a young nigga in the cook, take you out for some joints. Counter smoking, no rush. I'm on the one-way flush. Loud pack smelling mud. These fucking police can't touch me. These bogus police can't touch me. These fucking niggas can't touch me. Apply the pressure with the VVS. I try to fall like it was shit.
All right, girls, y'all know. Anytime I come to y'all from the bed, I have a confession. I don't want to be judged, but I just felt that I should share this because, you know, I just told you guys about, you know, when I was working with those engineers and all of this kind of stuff. But what I have not shared with you guys is that, y'all, I actually did have a job opportunity and I started working. I was working for this really nice company here in Houston, and I was hired as a senior project manager. And it was going really, really well. I didn't want to say anything right away because I just wanted to see, you know, if this opportunity was going to stick. And so everything was going well. And I just felt like out of nowhere, they started picking on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like I dressed appropriately. I felt like, you know, I did my job or whatever. I was very professional, and I just felt like they started picking on me or whatever. And so anyway, girl, they ended up like saying that I was not dressing appropriate for work. And I'm just like, what? Like, you know, what are you talking about? And then on top of that, they were saying like they caught me doing something that was like inappropriate at work. Now, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't exactly a coffee badger. You guys know what a coffee badger is. It's somebody who, you know, they come to work, they get some coffee, they hang out for a little while, and then they leave. So I wasn't a coffee badger, but I'm gonna be honest, like, I had, you know, used to have my music and stuff at work, but I would always have my earphones on. And I'm not gonna lie, like the beat and stuff, you know, would get a little good to me. So I would just kind of, you know, do my little dance, but it wasn't anything like that was super crazy or whatever. And so I'm like, well, you know, you need to show me, or you need to give me some context as to what this inappropriate behavior was or whatever. And so anyway, they basically was like, you know, we have you on surveillance in one of the conference rooms, and I'm just thinking like, what the, you know, like, what are they talking about? So anyway, girl, I want you guys to, so what I did, I was like, well, then give me I need a copy of the surveillance because I'm gonna fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a great job, it paid great. I don't want to go back, but I'm gonna fight for my, I'm gonna fight basically against what the claims that they said or whatever. So again, inappropriate dress code and well, I wasn't following the dress code, and then inappropriate behavior at work or whatever. So I demanded a copy of the surveillance, and they did give it to me. And so I'm just gonna put myself out here. You know, I don't care at this point because I don't work for them anymore. But I want you guys to let me know if you feel that they have, like, if I have a case, basically is what I'm saying. I need to know if I have a case. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the footage, and y'all let me know in the comment section if you feel like I should get an attorney, if I should try to sue, if I should try to get some type of like compensation for wrongful termination. You guys let me know what your thoughts are. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the clip in right here. Roll that beautiful bean footage, rock. make an attempt to try to curl this hair with maybe, let me see, 3, 4, 5, like 10 flexi rods. I'm gonna see if I can do it. It just seems like the hair is a little bit more tangly on the ends or whatever, but girl, did y'all see how Tia Kemp went off on Krishan? Oh girl, listen, it's a couple of people that I have put down in my, I have wrote down in the book of Thou Shall Not Be Touched. Let me tell you who is in my book of Thou Shall Not Be Touched, nor attempted to be cussed out. The Miami girls, the girls from Baltimore, the girls from Philly, the girls from New York, and the girls from Detroit. Not only can you not, like, those are, to me, they just untouchable. Those are the girls that are untouchable. And not only are they untouchable, girl, they be cussing so good. Now the girls from Philly, Detroit, and Baltimore, and New York, they can fight. But the girls from New York and Miami, they don't have to really fight you. They can just cuss you out real good. If a girl from Miami or someone, if someone from New York, if the first thing they say is, let me tell you something, run fast, run hard, run quick. Cause it's kind of like, if they say, let me tell you something, it's over with. But girl, the girls from Detroit, I don't know, y'all. Sometimes to me now, of course, I'm not like a guy or anything, but it's just certain girls you just don't cheat on. Like, to me, the Detroit, Baltimore, Philly, those are girls that you don't cheat on, because cheating could cost you your life. You know what I'm saying? But girl, they talking about Tia Kemp. Well, I heard her cuss Krishan out. It's so many people talking about she cussed so good, asking her if she could give lessons on how to cuss people out. And she said that I guess some executives wanted to work with her, but they told her she needed to work on her mouth or whatever, like stop cussing so much or whatever. And she said she was trying until that little situation happened or whatever. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all, like, when it comes to this whole social media thing, I ain't gonna lie, girl, sometimes you do just be wanting to take off on some, you want to take off on people. But for me personally, I don't get really bad comments, but there are times where people say stuff to me in the comment section, and I won't even say anything back, because I just be like, it's not worth it. And then I just, if it's too spicy, extra crispity or crunchity, baby, one thing about me, I'ma block the comment. It takes a lot to get to that point, of just getting to the point of, okay, I'm not gonna say anything back. I'm not gonna, it takes a lot. But for me, I think I realized, like, girl, you ain't gonna never win against the internet. And that's why I try to just try to edit in a way of, like, I try to examine my content after I filmed, and I try to think about if it feels to me like this could go either way, or this could go the wrong way, or be taken the wrong way, I don't even put it in the blog. Because there are a lot of people out here that are committed. When I say, baby, the commitment to misunderstanding you is 100% real. People will commit to misunderstanding you. And I don't get it. I don't understand it, but it is what it is. I had spoken in one of my blogs about me really understanding now why I'm in this season. Initially, I didn't understand why I'm in this season, losing my car and stuff like that or whatever. And so someone decided to get in the comment section talking about, I'm tired of you blaming God. I didn't say anything about blaming God. I said I understand what God is doing in my life, and I understand. It was basically me having an understanding of why sometimes you have to go through a pruning season. But I absolutely never blamed God. And so I ain't gonna lie, I was like, where did they get that from, that I'm blaming God for something? But instead of me I ain't gonna lie, I wanted to say something back, but this is what I had to think about. I was like, you know what, if they misunderstood what I was trying to say about a pruning season, or about me understanding why God will remove things to get you back on your square and get you focused on things, if they misunderstood that, they're not going to understand me rebuttaling or saying what I have to say. So I just left it alone or whatever. But you know, you do go through pruning seasons. Everybody knows that. God knows us better than we know ourselves. God knows what's best, and that's all I was trying to say. And so I just was like, girl, it's not even worth it. It does get tough sometimes when you're misunderstood on this journey. You know, it really does. Y'all, I hope this battery does not die. But anyway, girls, when I woke up today, I was like, I want to hang out with my bombshells today. And so honestly, girls, I don't know what this vlog is going to be giving, or giving, I should say. I don't know what it's going to be giving. I hope that you guys, you enjoy it. It's funny, it's entertaining, it's educational, or whatever. Oh, good Lord. Girl, look. Girl, see, this hair be making me mad. But anyway, hold on. I just be hating these flexi bras sometimes. But anyway, girls, so yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy the vlog. I don't know if I guess we're gonna end it here. I'm gonna finish rolling my hair with y'all. But I definitely need to get to editing. Girls, this vlog is going to be in real time, honey. It is going to be literally, when y'all watch this vlog, today is the 3rd. You guys will have this vlog tomorrow. Oh, you know what else I wanted to tell y'all before we hang up? Girly, y'all, I did not feel like talking today, okay? I did not feel like talking today, but I pushed myself. And I was like, I want to get back to the level of consistency that I had when I first started doing YouTube. Girl, I used to be uploading a vlog every other day, and I want to get back to that or whatever. And so I really pushed myself. I'm so proud of myself, girl. I love talking to you girls in the comment section. That's the thing that I look forward to the most, is being able to talk to y'all in the comment section, especially now that I'm feeling, that I'm in a season of isolation. I can't say that it gets lonely or anything, because I do enjoy being by myself, but I can say that sometimes I just want a little bit more interaction, than what I've been getting lately. And so it is fun when I upload the blog and you guys are in the comment section. That's my favorite part. So that's one of my favorite things, is getting comments from you guys. Another thing that I really love is when you guys say that you learned something from me. But the thing that I love the most is when I can make you guys laugh. Like, I really enjoy making y'all laugh. I'm not gonna lie. But and wait a minute, speaking of laughing, girl, y'all, I did a segment about the best neighborhoods in Houston. Girls, that was a joke, guys. That was a joke. It was a joke, because those are the worst. Those are not the best neighborhoods in Houston. So I just thought that I would do that, because y'all know I have like a funny, quirky, cute sense of humor or whatever. And sometimes I do like to play jokes on y'all. I'm gonna be honest, I do. And so that was definitely a joke. But if y'all understand my sense of humor, there was a lot of bombshells who got it. Y'all knew, like, okay, wait a minute. So yeah, but yeah, girls, I am so happy and just so proud of myself. You guys let me know if you liked the format of the blog. There was one section of the blog, like when I was cleaning out the closet, organizing the closet, I ain't gonna lie, girl, I didn't really feel like talking, so I just did like, you know, the voiceover or whatever. So I think I'm gonna start kind of, if that technique works out, if it does well, I'm gonna start doing that more. I don't know what it's gonna look like until I get to the editing, you know. I've been trying to edit a little bit as I go, but it's hard when you're trying to film and edit in one day, but we'll know soon enough, girl. So anyway, we got this one last flexi rod here, but I'm gonna actually go ahead and end the vlog here because as soon as I hang up with you girls, I need to take my makeup off and stuff and take a shower, and then we need to start editing. But y'all, this has been so much fun, and I'm gonna, after I edit, when I get up in the morning, baby, we're gonna pick up this camera and we're gonna do it all over again. But anyway, girls, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.